to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm your host and founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation. Happy August 1st. I can't believe summer's going to be almost over. Goodness sakes. Actually, I'll be glad in Florida. It's so hot down here. Let's take care of our business stuff first because that's super, super important because we wouldn't be able to be here without John Gaston and Area 52 Media Group. We want to thank them for producing, and we got Joseph behind on my tech guy to help me out. Does all the good stuff behind the scenes. But if you want to have your own show, please contact John at Area 52 Media Group. Any kind of show of your dreams, he can do it. And our sponsors, of course, Delynn Gaston with the mortgage firm, Anything Mortgages. It's crazy out there, but if you want somebody who is steadfast, knows what she's doing, can walk you through every step, help you if you have a difficult situation, help you if you don't, she's your gal. That's who I trust. When I redid the mortgage when we lost Bobby, and they helped me out, and it was about a year later, but it was still, trying emotional time, and I'm just so grateful for all of them for their help. And then, of course, Tammy White Galleries and Custom Framing, and yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. So thank you to our sponsors and our producer. Gives us the opportunity to come to you nearly each week and share the hard stuff and hopefully give a little bit of insight about how we can walk this journey maybe in a little bit happier, healthier path. At least that's what we strive for sometimes. It's been a crazy couple weeks, and but even though it's summer and summer's almost over, we're still doing our support groups. We have our next ones coming up for August are the second Wednesday is August 12th, and that'll be at our Spring Hill location, Nami Hernando office. They are super great partners. We really super appreciate them. It's at 6:30. With both of these groups, you don't have to sign up. You can just show up. We understand that how difficult the situation is. It's a peer-to-peer support group, so every single person there understands your journey, even the facilitator, because we're all on that same journey. We just may be either not as far down the trail as some people are. So, and then our one in Newport Richey is on the 20th at the Oasis Coffee Spot. Same time, 6:30. Again, just show up if you feel like it. I know that support groups aren't for everybody, but for the people they are for, they are extremely, extremely helpful. It's a good thing. And I know that, sometimes, and I see it, we've been doing these support groups now for 2 years. I can't believe it. It took us a long time to get to the point to be able to start them. And so we've been doing this for 2 years. And we know that some people may intend to come, and then the time comes and you just can't do it. And believe me, we know how hard that is. But it's a supportive space. What happens in those support groups, stay in the support groups. Everybody is understanding, and it's a safe space. A safe space. So, yeah, a lot has been going on this week, the last couple weeks. Last week I talked about some anger stuff. I got my phone and got it fixed. I got everything transferred over except for the photos. I'm still working on that. A week of going through that. And I just had to had to let it go and let it happen. It was going to happen however it was going to happen. I couldn't control it. But anyways, I was Art for Hope. We have Art for Hope. Countdown is on. Man, it is going to be here before we know it. September 10th. This is one of the pieces that are available. Venice. This is a really cool serigraph. You can't really tell from the picture, but it's a hand embellished serigraph by S. Sam Park, and it's really cool. It's like 34 by 42 or something. It's a good size piece. But if you're interested in something like that, call me either at the gallery or at the foundation. We can make it available before Art for Hope if you really want it. And remember, the proceeds for the sale of all this art goes to the foundation, and it helps us support our Purple Folder program, the show, our support groups, our scholarship program, to help loss survivors pay for, things like maybe getting their house cleaned or having their yard work done. I know that, and this came about because of things that I needed that people saw, particularly after I broke my leg right after Bobby died. But we know how hard it can be, both financially and emotionally. So we want to support people, in ways that we can and hopefully are, meaningful. So anyways, we had our volunteer meeting this past week. It was great. Sponsorships are still available for Art for Hope. So if you're interested in sponsoring Art for Hope or this show, please contact us at the office. There's several ways you could do it. Email me at info@bobbywhitefoundation.org. Call us. Text us. I mean, there's just a ton of ways. Message me on Facebook. I don't care. But it's going to be an awesome event. Our keynote speaker is Eloy Nunes and his son Eddie Nunes. It's going to be, all I can say is I know it's going to just be amazing. It's going to be a great evening. Education, awareness, hope for our community. The excitement is starting to build. So we do have a Facebook page for Art for Hope. So on Facebook, go to Art for Hope. And I'm posting some of this stuff that I'm showing you and maybe a few other little tidbits as we build up to the fundraiser. And also cross posting on Tammy White Gallery's Facebook page and the Bobby White Foundation Facebook page. So it's everywhere. I had mentioned last week that I had been going through some files, and actually I was looking to get some pictures of this artwork that we have off an old computer that only works in certain ways now. It's an old laptop, and I found on this thumb drive some videos, and these were from like 2010, 2011, and totally forgot about them. I didn't even know they were on this thumb drive. I did find some of the pictures that I wanted, but this was like almost like a little treasure. So it's a really short video, and we have chickens here. You can't hear them. The rooster was just crowing, but you can't hear him. It doesn't pick up here. But anyways, and I know that I've mentioned it in past shows too, and we've raised baby chickens, hatched our own baby chickens here, and the trials and tribulations of being chicken parents over the years. And so and we get like emotionally attached. And I remember the first time we actually hatched our first baby chick, and I saw it was hatching, and I ran back up to the house and got Bobby, and we both ran back down to the chicken coop and watched the baby hatch. It was just so cool. But there's hard things that come with that too. But anyways, I found this video, and this was from 2010. I can't remember for sure the month. I had it in my head, but I got to write things down. But I know it's from 2010. And it's one of the first videos that we had. And it's of Bobby with our baby chick. If we can get Joseph to roll that little video. Bobby and our baby chicken.
Chicken fingers
Bobby
tonight.
With our baby chick. The baby chick.
We have no idea what we're doing.
There's
with
two
this.
of them, and there's another video with two of them. But this one here,
our little baby chicken we're trying to save. She got hurt.
I guess the bigger hens were picking on it, and so we brought it in the house.
To Bobby. Oh, so cute.
Lucky me.
It's just so cute. That's it. They're just little short clips, but it just, to see that, I just, it's not, it doesn't make me sad. I don't know really how it makes me feel. It's not a sad feeling. I just think I'm just very grateful and lucky that I feel that I have that little snippet. And I have a couple others. I think I had mentioned I have one from my birthday, I think from 2011. And as it gets closer, because it is in August, which is also our anniversary, I'll show that it's with our friends that we all used to go out to dinner together once a month. All the guys all surveyed together. So it was it's really, when I saw was going through these videos and came across the ones with Bobby, I didn't even cry. I guess I don't know. It just kind of made me happy to see it, to see the videos of him, which is a far cry from what I was several years ago. Excuse me, but dead of water, scratchy throat today. Anyways, yeah, so that was really kind of cool. But then that was my happy part, and I found those before the sad thing happened this past week. So I take care of my neighbor's dogs. They have what is she? Oh gosh, I know what she is. She's so dude. Now I always forget. But anyways, one is a dachshund, Winston. Kinsley is the other one. Oh, man, that's just gonna kill me. That, and I know what kind of dog she is. She's just so adorable. But I've talked about them before because I take care of them when the kids go away, and their ducks. So we were doing our usual routine. We have this little. We go on a walkabout around the property, and several times a day. And we had done our morning walkabout, and they had breakfast, and then I went over around noontime, and we go around our walkabout, walk around the house and the property, and go check on the ducks. But this time, we were, it's the same route that we take every single time, and so it was the same as the morning route, just a few hours earlier. And we're starting to walk towards the backyard and by the house, and we're a little bit of ways. And I look and I see this clump against the house, like a furry clump. And I was looking and I was like, oh, that looks really weird. And I didn't know if it was like maybe a dead squirrel or what. As we walked kind of slow because I had the dogs with me and I didn't know how the dogs were going to react. And as we got closer, it was a freaking baby kitten. There the little thing is, I had picked it up and brought it home. It was so malnourished and so skinny. It was like near death. You could feel every bone and rib and vertebrae in the little thing's body. So I grabbed him before the dogs could get him, got the dogs in the house, brought him back over, put him in our little bed, and gave him some water, and he ate some chicken. I thought I was going to be able to save him. He was so fragile. I don't even know if it was a boy or a girl, probably about 5 weeks old. And every time I picked the little thing up, I was so afraid I was going to break him because that's how much you could feel the bones in this poor little thing's body. So things were going, really pretty good the rest of the afternoon, all day. I left for a couple hours to go to a fundraiser and came back home and seemed to be fine. Although I couldn't get it to drink any more water. I mean, get some water in his mouth and wasn't really eating. So I wrapped him up in a little towel and we went to bed. And about 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up. I just boom, woke up. And I had just had this feeling something wasn't right. The baby was still alive, but was pretty lethargic. So we got up and went and sat in the recliner, tried to get some more water around his mouth. And poor little thing is breathing started to labor, and about an hour and a half later, about 4:30 in the morning, the little thing passed away. It was so devastating. I really thought I was going to be able to save this little one, but I just couldn't. So is the next day, I left him on a towel in the living room, just like I do, when we lose our cat, so the others know what happened. And my boy Oscar, I was still sitting in the chair with him after he had passed. Oscar had jumped up on the arm of the chair and he knew what happened. And Oscar's extremely sensitive. And he was really upset and jumped down, and I let him go out on the back porch. And but the little thing is buried in our backyard along with all the many other animals that are buried back there. But it was just, I didn't even have the cat 24 hours, and it just was so upsetting to me. It took a few days to recover from, but that's where the book that we had been going through, that I've been talking about, really helped to come into play with this, and trying to really be mindful of my emotions. The Art and Science of Getting Happier, Build the Life You Want, by Arthur C. Brooks and Oprah Winfrey. And it's not about not addressing your negative or bad emotions. We have to have those. Even in today's society, I mean, it's important. When we were cavemen, those emotions were for different reasons. It was either to save your life or not. Things are much different now, but we still have to address them and feel them. That's what last week's quote was. You have to feel them, which I do, like sometimes to over feeling them, but it takes work and it's not easy. And even, this is, it reminds me of, in not in the same way, but, after, losing Bobby and trying to navigate, and I think there were times, and I think it was, I mean, it's just automatic, especially in the first year. Your brain shuts some of this stuff down, and it's again, it's a survival mode. But l- this whole process is learning and growing and finding tools um, to move through all this. It's a journey. That's just what it is. Trying to look at some notes I have here because like the video of Bobby, you know, and with a kid with that cat, I had so much love and compassion for that cat, and but then so much sorrow and sadness. And seeing the video of Bobby, I'm always going to be sad that he's not here with us. But even seeing the video of him brought me, which quite frankly, to myself, I thought was strange for me, brought me joy. So we can hold two emotions, opposite emotions, at the same time. Being cognizant of it, but it's possible. And you don't have to choose between one or the other, which seems weird. But it does kind of help a little bit with all this. And so this week I was going through chapter 3, which is choose a better emotion. And you can replace, I'm not going to go through a lot of this stuff because it gets overwhelming for me, but this is really pretty good here. Let me do this. I got to get this bigger so I can see it. So we can replace negative emotions with positive emotions, but you have to be aware of it. And believe me, it's not easy to do. It is hard work. Just like walking through this journey, it's hard work if you do the work. It's not easy, but it really beats staying stuck. So, gratitude. Gratitude can change so much for yourself, not only mentally, emotionally, but also physically. So, we've got all these things, and especially in this world today is just crazy as crap. There is so much that you can think everything is just wrong. What is going on? Make a little shift. There's got to be something positive in your life. One thing that helped me in the early years of losing Bobby is, yeah, my life sucked. But you know what? I had friends and neighbors and family that were helping me through what I was going through. And I could just watch the news or look on Facebook, and there were a whole hell of a lot more people that had it way worse than me. And I was grateful for what I had. And it made a huge difference. It opens up your heart to appreciate the good. And it doesn't have to be big things, it can just be little things. Gratitude reminds us that there's always something to be thankful for. And there is. And it does, like I said, it doesn't have to be big. It can just be something little. A neighbor's phone call. Or even you calling up somebody that you know that might be having a hard time. Be grateful that you have that and you can do that. Laughter. I mean, even people, people tell jokes at funerals. It lightens things, it lightens the load, and it brings joy, even in the hardest times. It releases tension. Laughter is a reminder that joy is still possible. And for me, I don't know, all these are super important, but hope is the biggest one. And this was not even, when we started all this years ago, this is not how it happened. I mean, it happened. um, Hope is so important. And there's a difference between hope and optimism. Optimistic people, things are getting get better. Hopeful people, yeah, things may be rough, but guess what? We find action to make things better. There's a difference. Keep our hearts open to better days ahead. It gives us the strength to keep going and the courage to believe in tomorrow. Hope is the light that guides us forward. I think that is so important. And hope just came up, for all of our stuff kind of organically. And then ironically, it's my maiden name. So it just kind of like all worked together. So, the stuff in this book that I'm going through and reading and sharing with you right now, it's not easy stuff to work through. And sometimes even to me, it sounds like, are you kidding me? Why do I have to think so hard? But I think that being aware more, it's another tool. And hopefully it'll be helpful. So my quote today is, optimistic people generally believe that things will turn out well. Hopeful people take active steps to make those positive outcomes a reality. I like that. I'll have an image of the quote in the comments. But as hard as things are, try and think about it. Try and get this book. It's not an easy read sometimes. I mean, it's an easy read, but thinking about it sometimes isn't easy. So keep those phone numbers in your phone, memorize them. It's real easy. 988. You could just be the one person to give just that one person that little bit of hope. It's worth it. Thanks for joining us tonight.